Ladies and gentlemen, it's so good to be here with you today. And I want to start with a simple question. Do you want to be great? I mean, truly great. Not just successful, not just admired, not just recognized, but great. The kind of greatness that shifts the course of history, the kind of greatness that inspires generations, the kind of greatness that outlives you. It's a big question. And if you're really serious about your answer, if your heart is screaming yes, then I have to tell you something that most people won't. It's a lonely road. It's lonely not because people don't want to walk with you, but because few can. The road to greatness is narrow, it's steep, and most people will turn back the moment it gets uncomfortable, and it will get uncomfortable. Most people want greatness until they see the price, until they realize that it requires sacrifice, discipline, and resilience. It requires stepping into the unknown again and again and again. And that's where loneliness sets in. The weight of the vision, greatness starts with a vision. Think about anyone who has ever changed the world. Steve Jobs, Martin Luther King Jr., Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Amelia Earhart, the Wright brothers. Every single one of them saw something that others didn't. But here's the thing about vision. When you see something before everyone else, people think you're crazy. They doubt you, they question your choices, they tell you to be realistic. And that's lonely because when you're walking a path that no one else can see yet, you don't have a map, you don't have a guarantee, you don't have reassurance that you're going the right way. You just have belief. And that belief, that's your responsibility. It's your burden to carry. Greatness is carrying a vision so big that it scares you and then moving forward anyway. The weight of the vision. Greatness begins with a vision. It is the single most defining factor that separates those who make an impact from those who simply exist. A vision is more than just a dream or a goal. It is an unshakable belief in what could be, even when no one else sees it. Those who achieve greatness are often the ones who saw something before the world did, who imagined possibilities that others dismissed, and who were willing to walk into the unknown with nothing but conviction. The problem with having a vision is that it often isolates you. When you can see something so clearly, but the rest of the world remains blind to it, the road can feel lonely. Friends, family, colleagues, many of them won't understand. They won't share your enthusiasm because they can't yet see what you see. And because they don't see it, they will question it. They will challenge it. They will tell you to be realistic, to play it safe, to follow the path that has already been paved. History is filled with stories of visionaries who were misunderstood, doubted, and even ridiculed. When Steve Jobs spoke about personal computers in every home, people thought it was absurd. When the Wright brothers believed that humans could fly, they were laughed at. When Nelson Mandela spoke of unity in a divided South Africa, many called it impossible. Visionaries are often met with skepticism, not because people want to discourage them, but because human nature resists change. People are wired to seek comfort in what is familiar, and a big vision disrupts the status quo. Carrying a vision is heavy because it comes with responsibility. It's not just an idea, it's a commitment. It demands action. It requires endurance. It means standing firm when others doubt you. It means pushing forward even when you don't have all the answers. It means leading when no one is following yet. The weight of a vision is not just in the resistance from others. It is also in the internal battles you will face. There will be moments of self-doubt, times when you question if you are delusional, if you are wasting your time, if the struggle is even worth it. The easy thing to do would be to let go, to choose a safer path, to conform. But those who achieve greatness are the ones who refuse to let go. The journey of a visionary is often filled with moments of solitude. When Elon Musk was building Tesla, he poured every dollar he had into the company, at one point facing the possibility of complete financial ruin. He could have walked away, but he didn't because his vision was bigger than his fear. When J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers, she could have stopped believing in Harry Potter, but she didn't. When Martin Luther King Jr. marched for civil rights, he could have let the threats and opposition silence him, but he didn't. What kept them going was not external validation. It was an internal fire, a belief so strong that quitting was never an option. A vision requires sacrifice. It may cost relationships, financial stability, comfort, and sometimes even mental and emotional peace. It will test your patience, stretch your limits, and force you to grow in ways you never imagined. The people around you might not understand why you are willing to endure so much for something that doesn't yet exist. That is the price of seeing the world differently. The reward does not come instantly, there is no guarantee of immediate success, and there will be failures along the way. But those who hold on to their vision despite the wait are the ones who ultimately change the world. The pain of the process. The journey to greatness is not just lonely, it is painful. This pain is not an accident, nor is it a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is an essential part of the process. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has endured suffering, setbacks, and struggles that would break most people. The process of becoming great is not about avoiding pain, but about learning how to endure it, how to push through it, and how to let it shape you into someone stronger. The pain of the process comes in many forms. There is the pain of failure, the moments when everything you worked for falls apart, when your ideas don't work, when your plans collapse, and when your confidence is shaken. Failure is an inevitable part of the road to greatness, yet most people fear it so much that they stop before they even begin. They take failure as a sign to quit, not realizing that the greatest leaders, inventors, and visionaries failed more times than they succeeded. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he created the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team before he became one of the greatest athletes of all time. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job before becoming one of the most influential media figures in the world. What separates those who achieve greatness from those who don't is their willingness to embrace failure as part of the process. There is also the pain of sacrifice. The pursuit of greatness demands that you give up comfort, security, and sometimes even relationships. While others are out enjoying themselves, you will be working. While others are choosing ease, you will be choosing discipline. While others settle for mediocrity, you will be pushing yourself to new limits. This sacrifice is what makes the journey so difficult. It forces you to ask yourself how much you are truly willing to give. The truth is, most people are not willing to give up enough. They want greatness, but they also want comfort. They want success, but they don't want to sacrifice for it. But the two cannot coexist. Every great achievement comes with a cost, and that cost is often paid in sleepless nights, in missed social gatherings, in long hours of solitude, and in relentless effort when no one is watching. The pain of the process also comes from doubt, both external and internal. The world will doubt you. People will question your decisions, challenge your vision, and sometimes even ridicule your ambition. But the louder voice will always be the one inside your own head. It is the voice that whispers, maybe they're right. It is the voice that asks, what if I fail? It is the voice that tells you to stop, that convinces you it's too hard, that makes you wonder if you are strong enough to keep going. This is the battle that every great person must fight, the battle against self-doubt. Those who win this battle are the ones who refuse to listen to the voice that tells them to quit. They keep moving forward even when the path is unclear, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable, even when the weight of their own uncertainty threatens to crush them. Perhaps the hardest part of the process is that it does not come with a timeline. There is no set number of failures you must endure before you succeed. There is no clock counting down to the moment when your sacrifices will finally pay off. The journey can take years, sometimes decades, and in that time many people give up. They walk away, not because they weren't capable, but because they could not endure the waiting, the suffering, the unknown. But those who achieve greatness are the ones who hold on just a little longer. They are the ones who persist when others quit. They are the ones who keep going, not because they have any guarantee of success, but because they refuse to let the pain break them. The process is supposed to be painful. It is supposed to test you. It is supposed to push you to your limits. Because greatness is not something that is handed to you. It is something you must earn. And the only way to earn it is to endure the pain of the process and keep moving forward. The discipline to keep going. The journey to greatness is not about bursts of inspiration or moments of motivation. It is about discipline, Discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who simply dream. It is what keeps you moving forward when excitement fades, when progress slows, and when challenges seem overwhelming. The hard truth is that motivation is fleeting. It is easy to feel inspired when you first start, when the vision is fresh and when the possibilities feel endless. But as time goes on, as the process becomes grueling, and as obstacles pile up, that initial motivation starts to disappear. What remains is discipline, the ability to keep showing up, to keep working, and to keep pushing, even when every part of you wants to stop. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It is waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It is working when others are resting. It is saying no to distractions, no to comfort, and no to excuses. It is not an easy thing to cultivate, and that is why so few people achieve greatness. The average person is controlled by their feelings. If they feel motivated, they work hard. If they don't feel like it, they procrastinate. But those who achieve extraordinary things are not driven by feelings, they are driven by commitment. They do not wait for inspiration to strike. They do not rely on fleeting emotions to determine their actions. They have trained themselves to do the work regardless of how they feel in the moment. One of the greatest challenges of discipline is consistency. Anyone can work hard for a day, a week, or even a month, but greatness is built over years of consistent effort. It is about doing the work day after day, even when progress is slow, even when results are invisible, and even when the effort feels pointless. The reality is that most people give up not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack consistency. They get discouraged when they don't see immediate results. They become impatient when success doesn't come as quickly as they hoped. They look for shortcuts, for easier paths, for ways to avoid the hard work. But there are no shortcuts to greatness. The only way to get there is to put in the work every single day with unwavering discipline. Discipline also means mastering the small things. Many people focus only on big, dramatic actions, believing that success comes from one defining moment. But in reality, greatness is built in the small, seemingly insignificant choices made every day. It is in the decision to read instead of scrolling through social media. It is in the choice to train when no one is watching. It is in the commitment to practice, to refine, to improve, even when no one else notices. The small things add up over time, and discipline is what ensures that those small choices are made consistently. Perhaps the most difficult aspect of discipline is that it requires self-accountability. There is no one forcing you to do the work. There is no teacher giving you a grade, no boss threatening to fire you, no external pressure ensuring that you stay on track. The responsibility falls entirely on you. And that is where most people struggle. It is easy to work hard when there is someone holding you accountable. It is much harder when you are the only one responsible for your own progress. True discipline is built when you learn to hold yourself accountable, when you set your own standards, and when you refuse to let yourself off the hook, even when no one else would notice if you quit. The reality is that discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. Every time you push yourself to do the hard thing, every time you resist the urge to take the easy way out, every time you choose effort over excuses, you are strengthening your discipline. And over time, that discipline becomes unbreakable. It becomes the foundation upon which your success is built. At the end of the day, greatness is not about talent, luck, or intelligence. It is about discipline. It is about the relentless commitment to keep going, to keep working, and to keep improving, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. It is about showing up every single day, even when no one is watching, even when no one is cheering, and even when you don't feel like it. Because discipline is the difference between those who dream of greatness and those who achieve it. The reward of the journey. The road to greatness is long, difficult, and often lonely. It demands sacrifice, discipline, and relentless effort. It tests patience, endurance, and belief. For a long time, it can feel as if all the hard work is for nothing. The rewards are not immediate, and the process can feel unfair. But the truth is, those who persist long enough, those who refuse to quit even when every reason to do so presents itself, eventually find that the journey itself has changed them. The reward of the journey is not just the achievement at the end. It is the person you become along the way. The long hours of effort, the setbacks, the struggles, and the moments of self-doubt shape you into someone different. They turn you into someone stronger, more resilient, more capable. The journey is where you develop patience, where you learn perseverance, and where you gain the wisdom that only experience can provide. The real reward of the journey is the transformation that happens within you.
There is also a profound sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you endured. Many people start the journey to greatness, but most quit. They turn back when the road gets too hard, when the obstacles seem too big, when the failures become too frequent. But those who continue, who refuse to surrender, who keep going even when every fiber of their being wants to stop, eventually look back and realize how far they have come. They realize that the struggles were not setbacks but necessary steps. Every challenge, every rejection, every failure played a role in shaping their success. And when they finally reach the destination, they appreciate it in a way that those who took shortcuts never will. One of the greatest rewards of the journey is the realization that you were never really alone. For a long time, it may feel like no one understands your vision, like no one sees what you see, like no one believes in you. But when you keep going, when you prove through action that you are committed, something incredible happens. The right people start to show up. Not the doubters, not the skeptics, not the ones who told you to quit, but the believers. The ones who see what you see, the ones who want to walk the road with you. The ones who are inspired by your journey and want to be part of it. Greatness is magnetic. It attracts those who share your vision, those who believe in the same things you do, and those who are willing to push themselves in the same way. And that is when you realize that the loneliness of the road was temporary. The early days when no one understood were just a test to see how committed you were. Because the world does not follow those who talk about greatness. It follows those who embody it. Another reward of the journey is the impact you leave behind. The greatest individuals in history were not just great for themselves. They were great because they changed the world around them. Their persistence, their courage, and their willingness to keep going despite the odds inspired others to do the same. When you stay on the path long enough, you realize that your journey is not just about you. It is about the people who will look at you and say, because of you, I didn't give up. The reward of the journey is not just the destination. It is the growth, the fulfillment, the relationships, and the impact. It is the knowledge that you endured when others didn't. It is the satisfaction of knowing you gave everything you had. It is the understanding that the struggles were not a punishment, but a preparation. And when you finally arrive at your moment of greatness, when you stand at the peak of everything you have worked for, you will not only appreciate the view, you will know deep down that it was all worth it. The responsibility of greatness. Greatness is not just about achieving extraordinary success. It comes with responsibility. The pursuit of greatness is not an individual journey in isolation. It is about something bigger than oneself. Many people strive for success, thinking that once they reach their goals, they can finally enjoy the rewards and live for themselves. But true greatness carries a weight. It demands that those who attain it use their influence, their knowledge, and their journey to make an impact beyond their own lives. The responsibility of greatness begins with setting an example. Those who walk the lonely road, who endure the hardships, and who refuse to give up become symbols of what is possible. People watch how they act, how they handle adversity, how they treat others, and how they lead. Whether they like it or not, those who achieve greatness become role models. Their stories inspire others to believe in themselves, to push past their own limits, and to strive for something greater. But this influence comes with a duty to uphold the values that helped them succeed in the first place. It is easy to become complacent once success is achieved, to feel as though the work is done. But those who are truly great understand that their journey never really ends. They continue to improve, to learn, and to set new standards, not because they have to, but because they recognize that others are looking to them as an example. Another responsibility of greatness is lifting others up. The journey to the top is difficult, and many people are struggling in the same way, facing doubts, fears, and obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. Those who have already walked the path, who have endured the pain, have a responsibility to help those who are still climbing. True leaders do not hoard knowledge or success for themselves. They share it, they mentor, they teach, they encourage. They understand that the highest form of success is not just reaching the peak alone, but helping others do the same. Some of the greatest figures in history did not just achieve greatness for themselves. They used their influence to open doors for others, to challenge old systems, and to create opportunities where none existed before. With greatness also comes the responsibility to stay true to one's principles. Many people lose themselves in the pursuit of success. They compromise their values, cut corners, or change who they are to fit into a version of greatness that others expect of them. But real greatness is not just about reaching the top. It is about staying there without losing integrity. The world is filled with stories of people who achieved success but lost themselves along the way. They gained wealth, fame, or power, but in the process they became unrecognizable, disconnected from their original purpose. True greatness is about staying grounded, remembering why the journey started in the first place, and holding on to the principles that made success possible. Another important responsibility of greatness is using influence for good. The world does not need more successful people who think only of themselves. It needs people who understand that their success can be used to solve problems, to challenge outdated ways of thinking, and to push humanity forward. The most influential figures in history were not just great in their own right. They used their platform to create change. They used their voice to speak for those who could not. They took risks not just for personal gain, but for the greater good. Greatness is not a finish line. It is a lifelong commitment. It is not just about what one accomplishes, but about one contributes. It is about leaving a mark, not just in achievements, but in the lives of others. And that is the final test of greatness, not how much one gains, but how much one gives. Those who understand this responsibility do not just leave behind a legacy of success. They leave behind a legacy of impact, inspiration, and change. The legacy of greatness. Greatness is not just about what you achieve in your lifetime, it is about what you leave behind. Many people strive for success, but only a few think about the impact they will have beyond their own existence. The true measure of greatness is not just in personal victories, wealth, or recognition, but in the lasting influence on others, on industries, on communities, and on the world as a whole. Legacy is what remains long after you are gone, the imprint of your work, your ideas, and your values. It is the final step in the journey, the culmination of everything sacrificed, everything endured, and everything built. A legacy is not created by accident. It is the result of intention, vision, and perseverance. Those who leave behind something meaningful do not do so because they happen to be in the right place at the right time. They do so because they made deliberate choices. They understood that their work was about more than themselves. They knew that what they created, the values they stood for, and the principles they upheld would shape not just their own lives, but the lives of those who came after them. One of the most powerful ways a legacy is built is through ideas. Ideas have the power to outlive individuals. They spread, evolve, and continue to influence people long after the original thinker is gone. Some of the greatest legacies in history were left not through wealth or monuments, but through ideas that changed the way people saw the world. Martin Luther King Jr. left behind an idea of equality and justice. Albert Einstein left behind a way of understanding the universe. Steve Jobs left behind a philosophy of innovation and simplicity in technology. These individuals may no longer be present, but their ideas continue to shape generations. Another key aspect of legacy is impact. Greatness is not measured by personal success alone, but by how much one contributes to the success of others. Those who achieve greatness often find that their greatest reward is not in what they personally gain, but in what they create for others. Teachers, mentors, leaders, and pioneers all leave legacies not just through their own work, but through the people they influence. A true leader's impact is seen in the growth of others, in the opportunities they create, in the lives they touch. Many of the greatest figures in history did not just succeed for themselves. They built something that would continue to serve others long after they were gone. A lasting legacy is also built through values. Money can be spent, structures can fall, but values endure. Integrity, courage, resilience, and a commitment to excellence. These are the things that define a person's legacy. People remember how you treated others, the standards you upheld, and the causes you stood for. Those who achieve greatness and maintain their integrity leave behind something far more valuable than any material success. They leave a set of guiding principles that inspire future generations to strive for more, to work harder, and to believe in the power of perseverance. Legacy is also about contribution. It is about giving back, about ensuring that the path for others is a little easier because of the work that has been done. Those who understand the true meaning of greatness do not hold on to their success selfishly. They use it to build, to teach, and to uplift. They create institutions, movements, and platforms that continue to serve others long after they are gone. They invest in people, in communities, in future leaders who will carry the torch forward. Ultimately, legacy is a choice. It is a commitment to thinking beyond the present, beyond personal gain, and beyond one's own lifetime. It is the realization that true greatness is not about being remembered for what you had, but for what you gave. Those who leave a meaningful legacy do so not because they sought recognition, but because they sought to make a difference. And in the end, that is what defines true greatness, not just the accomplishments of a lifetime, but the impact that lasts forever, the unending journey of greatness. Greatness is not a destination. It is not a finish line that once crossed allows you to stop striving, stop pushing, or stop growing. The truth is, the pursuit of greatness never truly ends. It is an ongoing journey, a continuous process of learning, evolving, and redefining what is possible. And those who achieve greatness understand that the moment they stop growing is the moment they begin to decline. That is why the journey does not end with a single achievement, a single victory, or a single moment of recognition. It continues for a lifetime. The unending journey of greatness requires a mindset that embraces change and adaptation. The world is constantly evolving, and those who wish to remain great must evolve with it. The strategies, skills, and mindsets that led to success in one era may not be enough to sustain it in the next. Those who achieve true greatness do not cling to old methods or resist progress. They remain students of their craft, always seeking new knowledge, new challenges, and new ways to improve. They understand that complacency is the enemy of continued success. The moment one believes they have made it and no longer needs to grow is the moment they begin to fall behind. Another key aspect of the unending journey of greatness is resilience. No matter how much success one achieves, challenges will continue to arise. There will always be new obstacles, new failures, and new setbacks. The difference between those who sustain greatness and those who fade away is their ability to endure. They do not allow success to make them comfortable, nor do they allow failure to make them quit. They remain committed to the process, understanding that each stage of their journey presents new tests that require perseverance and adaptability. Those who continue to pursue greatness also recognize the importance of reinvention. Many of the most influential figures in history did not simply succeed once and remain the same. They continued to evolve. They explored new industries, tackled new problems, and push themselves into new challenges. Athletes who dominate their sport do not stop training after winning a championship. They push themselves even harder. Entrepreneurs who build successful companies do not stop innovating. They find new ways to create and disrupt. Artists who create groundbreaking work do not rest on past successes. They push creative boundaries again and again. The pursuit of greatness is not about repeating past successes, but about constantly striving for new ones. A crucial part of the never-ending journey of greatness is the willingness to embrace uncertainty. Those who seek greatness must operate in the unknown, constantly pushing into uncharted territory where there are no guarantees. This is what separates the truly great from those who simply follow a path that others have already paved. The willingness to take risks, to challenge conventional wisdom, and to embrace the discomfort of uncertainty is what allows individuals to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. Another challenge of an unending pursuit of greatness is the need for self-motivation. External rewards, money, recognition, accolades can be powerful motivators early in the journey, but they are not enough to sustain lifelong greatness. Those who stay on the path understand that their drive must come from within. They are not working for applause or validation. They are working because they are deeply committed to the process itself. They find fulfillment not just in reaching goals, but in the continuous effort of self-improvement. The pursuit of greatness is also about contribution. As one grows and evolves, the responsibility to give back, to teach, and to uplift others becomes even more important. Those who truly understand greatness recognize that their journey is not just about personal achievement, but about leaving an impact that lasts beyond themselves. They mentor, they share their knowledge, and they help others navigate the path. They understand that the pursuit of greatness is not just about being the best. It is about elevating those around them and ensuring that their work continues to inspire and influence long after they are gone. Ultimately, the unending journey of greatness is what makes it so meaningful. The challenge, the struggle, the process of continuous growth. This is where fulfillment is found. It is not about arriving at a final destination, but about pushing the limits of what is possible again and again. And those who truly understand this will never stop striving, never stop learning, and never stop becoming better than they were yesterday. The ultimate sacrifice for greatness. Greatness is not free, it demands a price, and that price is sacrifice. Those who walk the lonely road to greatness understand that to achieve something extraordinary, they must give up things that others are not willing to let go of. The pursuit of excellence requires time, energy, and unwavering dedication. It forces individuals to make difficult choices, to say no to distractions, and to put their vision above comfort, convenience, and even relationships. The higher the goal, the greater the sacrifice. The first sacrifice on the road to greatness is comfort. Most people seek a life of ease, a life where things are predictable and secure. But greatness does not exist within the boundaries of comfort. It requires stepping into the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and enduring hardship. It demands that individuals push themselves beyond their limits, working harder than they thought possible, even when no one is watching. Sleep is sacrificed, leisure is sacrificed, instant gratification is sacrificed. Those who seek greatness must become comfortable being uncomfortable. They must be willing to endure long nights of effort, painful failures, and the constant pressure to improve. Another major sacrifice is time. Time is the most valuable resource, and greatness demands a significant investment of it. While others enjoy weekends, vacations, and social events, those on the road to greatness are working, practicing, refining their craft. They understand that every hour spent on distractions is an hour lost in the pursuit of their vision. They miss family gatherings, they decline invitations, they wake up early and stay up late. This sacrifice is not easy, and it often leads to moments of loneliness and doubt. But those who achieve greatness understand that time, is their most powerful asset, and they are willing to use it wisely. The pursuit of greatness also requires the sacrifice of acceptance. Many people seek validation from others, but those who desire true success must be willing to walk alone. They must be ready to be misunderstood, criticized, and even ridiculed. The world often resists those who challenge the status quo, those who dream bigger than what seems reasonable. Friends may not understand the long hours, the relentless work, or the intense focus. Family members may question the choices made, wondering why someone would willingly take such a difficult path. Society often pressures individuals to conform, to follow the traditional path, to stay within the limits of what is expected. But those who seek greatness cannot afford to seek approval. They must have the courage to believe in their vision, even when no one else does. A deeper sacrifice that few speak about is the emotional cost. The road to greatness is filled with failures, setbacks, and moments of crushing doubt. The pressure is immense, and the burden of responsibility grows heavier with each step forward. Those who achieve greatness often carry the weight of their vision alone, making decisions that will shape their future without any guarantees. They must develop mental toughness, learning to push forward despite fear, rejection, and exhaustion. The emotional toll can be overwhelming, but those who stay on the path learn that resilience is built through struggle. They accept the pain as part of the process and use it to fuel their progress. Another sacrifice that comes with greatness is relationships. The path to excellence often requires solitude. While others build social lives filled with frequent gatherings and casual friendships, those committed to greatness must prioritize their time and energy. Some relationships will fade. Some friendships will not survive the journey. It is not because the pursuit of greatness is selfish, but because it demands an intensity that not everyone can match. The best relationships are those that support and understand the sacrifices being made. Those who truly belong in one's life will respect the vision, and those who do not will naturally drift away. The ultimate sacrifice is the willingness to let go of who one used to be. To reach the highest level, individuals must continuously evolve, shedding old habits, old mindsets, and old versions of themselves. Growth requires change, and change requires letting go. Many people fail to achieve greatness because they are too attached to their past, too comfortable with their current identity, and too afraid to become something new. But those who understand the cost of greatness accept that transformation is necessary. They are willing to leave behind anything that no longer serves their vision, no matter how familiar or comfortable it may be. Sacrifice is the foundation of greatness. It is the price that must be paid, the test that must be endured, and the challenge that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is not easy, it is not fair, but for those who are willing to give up what is necessary, the reward is not just success, it is the fulfillment of becoming everything they were meant to be, the loneliness of greatness. The journey to greatness is not only difficult but profoundly lonely. It is a path that few choose to walk and even fewer complete. While many admire the achievements of great individuals, few truly understand the solitude that comes with the pursuit of excellence. This loneliness is not just physical, it is emotional, mental, and sometimes even spiritual. It is the quiet burden that those who strive for greatness must carry, a reality that separates them from the crowd. One of the first and most obvious forms of loneliness comes from the sheer amount of time spent alone. Those who seek greatness dedicate countless hours to their craft, whether it's writing, building, training, or creating, while others are out socializing, enjoying leisure, or engaging in the distractions of everyday life. Those committed to excellence are locked away in their work. They wake up early when the world is still asleep. They stay up late when others have gone to bed. They sacrifice weekends, vacations, and holidays. Not because they don't want to enjoy them, but because they are driven by something greater. They understand that true mastery requires relentless focus, and that focus often demands solitude. Another aspect of this loneliness comes from the difficulty of finding people who truly understand the journey. Most people do not share the same level of ambition, discipline, or vision. Friends and family may not understand why someone would willingly choose such an intense path. They may question the long hours, the sacrifices, and the seemingly endless pursuit of an elusive goal. At times, they may even discourage it, not out of malice, but out of a lack of understanding. When those closest to you fail to see your vision, it creates a deep sense of isolation. The conversations that once felt meaningful can start to feel shallow. The shared experiences that once bonded you with others may no longer resonate. Over time, this can create an emotional gap that is difficult to bridge. The loneliness of greatness is also intensified by the pressure of responsibility. The further one progresses on the journey, the fewer people there are who can provide guidance. At the beginning, there may be mentors, teachers, and role models to follow. But as one reaches higher levels, the path becomes less clear. There is no roadmap, no one to tell you what to do next. The weight of decision-making falls entirely on your shoulder. Every choice carries consequences, and the higher you climb, the greater the stakes. The loneliness of leadership, of being the one who must set the vision and make the tough calls, is one of the most isolating aspects of the journey. Failure also contributes to the loneliness of greatness. While success attracts attention and admiration, failure often isolates. When things go wrong, when setbacks occur, and when progress stalls, the world can feel incredibly small. Many people disappear when success is no longer guaranteed. The same supporters who once cheered you on may no longer be there when you struggle. During these moments, the journey can feel unbearably lonely. However, those who persevere learn that solitude can be a source of strength. In the absence of external validation, they are forced to rely on their inner resolve. They learn to keep moving forward even when no one else believes in them. The loneliness of greatness also stems from the realization that most people prefer comfort over challenge, certainty over risk, and acceptance over standing apart. Those who strive for greatness must often go against the grain, questioning norms, breaking traditions, and pursuing a vision that others may not yet see. This can create a deep sense of detachment from the majority, a feeling of being an outsider even in the midst of a crowd. While others follow the well-worn paths of predictability, those seeking greatness must forge their own, often walking alone in the process. Yet, despite this profound loneliness, those who stay the course come to understand that solitude is not necessarily a burden, it is a privilege. It is in the quiet moments, free from distractions and noise, that clarity emerges. It is in solitude that creativity thrives, discipline is strengthened, and resilience is built. Those who embrace the loneliness of greatness learn to use it as a tool rather than a limitation. They understand that the isolation they experience is not a punishment, but a requirement for extraordinary achievement. The path to greatness is not meant to be crowded. It is walked by those willing to endure the solitude that comes with it. It is a road that demands separation from the ordinary, from distractions, and sometimes even from those who cannot see the vision. But in this loneliness lies the opportunity to build something extraordinary, something that will ultimately inspire others to begin their own journey, no matter how lonely it may seem.